everybody. It's time for another weekly update from the current trial 2 test Eden delegates, chief delegates. The actual election, the first official election, is going to be October 9th. So become an Eden member and sign up. But for this week, we're just going to go through our updates as per usual. And I'll pass it over to Josh first, since you're to my left on the screen.
Sure. Well, let's see. Things continue to move along with the EOS Support initiative. I've been relatively hands-off a lot of this time. It's mostly been Randall and his team and Dario doing most of the groundwork and the planning. And the project has really blown up into quite a large thing with an extensive roadmap. And so there's some prioritizing of the roadmap happening. And I've started, as of toward the end of this week, I've started to get quite a bit more hands-on. And I'm now really immersed in one of the tools that we're using initially. Is called Intercom, and there's a lot of components to it. We're also integrating that with Calendly, so that people can schedule appointments with the various support reps for like video meetings and stuff to get some help if they want. And I'm thinking also to use some of these same tools, the same service, and I've already configured something in Calendly because I have something called collective events, which might be noteworthy for other Eden members, where basically, like let's say for example, in Calendly at the moment we have Randall and Dario and myself, 3 of us are Eden members, and with a collective event, if all 3 of us have our availability plugged into Calendly correctly, like what times we're available, somebody hypothetically could go and book an induction meeting, and it would the times available would only be the times that the 3 of us are all 3 available at that time. And so this service could, or at least the way I might use it initially myself personally, it might become very useful for onboarding new members onto Eden. I'm probably not somebody who really specializes enough in EOS to help people very much. Maybe on some basic level I can help people, but I might be one of the people using EOS support in the near future. So things are moving along. We're preparing for this upcoming election to begin doing some marketing campaigns and stuff like that, and hopefully get to demonstrate the service sooner than later. It's kind of a big undertaking, and starting to train other people on some of these systems and stuff like that. It's amazing how sometimes you think that something could just be available within like a matter of a couple weeks, but it takes longer than that to do it. I think Ami could relate to that right now with his project. That's the only thing I want to mention. I do want to come back around and talk about inductions again before we end the meeting, but that's my update for now on EOS support. We're kind of staying tight-lipped about it this whole time.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, I haven't even seen much. I'm quite excited. Randall was telling me about it, and he was excited to show me more. And I was like, yes, can't wait. So yeah, let's move on to Ami. You are next in my field of view.
Hi, I probably sound like a broken record, but the project is not ready yet. EOS in a Box had a big problem last week when I found out that the ESR, the EOS.io signing request standard, is not yet supporting WebAuthn, which is the biometrics on the phone. So I talked to Todd Fleming, and I talked to a bunch of other people that are related to that standard and using that on EOS.io. And I was hoping that it would be extended and expanded so I could use this standard. But now I think I shouldn't wait. I found a way around it. So the thing is that if I want to make a wallet that supports WebAuthn, then I need a way to bridge to the old wallets. And because when the person tries to create a new account, they pick an account name, they enter the name of the account who's going to be their custodian, their trusted party, and they generate a new key on their phone. And then they need to share these pieces of information with their friend who already has an EOS account, and they will create an account for them. So it's not going to be as smooth and easy with this ESR standard by Greymass, at least not initially. It will probably be added once it's ready. But I'm working now on something a little more manual that will enable creating accounts, and then I can continue. During this week, I made the app look a little more user-friendly. So it looks like a normal phone app with the menu and some items there and some different scenarios. And hopefully this week it's going to be the bare minimum. So you'll be able to create an account, and it will be on the blockchain, and you'll be able to sign transactions, and you'll be able to request key change, simulating a new phone, replacing your phone, and regaining access to your account. So that's the whole scope of the project, version 1. So hopefully soon it will be ready.
Soon, TM.
That's my update. Sorry. Yeah.
That's all good. It's all right. This is what these are for. It's one thing to have things go, not as planned and not tell anybody. This way, it's just transparent. If anyone else listening to this has built anything, sometimes it doesn't go necessarily as planned. But you don't give up. You find workarounds. Like you say, it won't be quite as smooth, and there's integrations and there's pieces here that aren't ready yet. But that doesn't mean they can't exist in the future. So all power to you, Ami. I appreciate your honesty, and I won't hold it against you that this is taking longer than you thought. So no problem. Okay, Felix, you're up.
All right. So I don't really have too much of an update other than I did post that one video where I went to LA to pay Iraq. So that's on my YouTube channel. And moving forward, still not sure kind of what direction I'm wanting to go. We'll see kind of how active this season 3 community is. And I'm thinking if I do hold an election, it'll be probably like mid-season for like a $100 giveaway for a video idea. But right now I'm also kind of leaning towards I have highlights and clips from the second trial, the Eden election trial. So I was thinking that video would be beneficial to make, especially with the upcoming official election here in October. Me and Thomas Hallgreen have been going back and forth trying to set up a call because I know he kind of wanted some like, I guess, features in the video that he would like me to include. So I need to set up a meeting with him to talk and figure out coming up with a video for that, because I think they're wanting to include like a Eden, like a broader picture of like the Eden election process, so that they can include that in the website or something like that. So, but yeah, that's kind of my updates for this week.
Okay, awesome. Sounds cool that you're working with Thomas to kind of collaborate to create a more holistic and useful video and content. Okay, yeah, my update last. The Eden members approved proxy is up and running. So there's 2 proxies. There's a donation proxy and a rewards proxy. Both proxies vote for the same BPs. The BPs are selected by Eden members rating respective BPs on the eosrate.io tool. Yeah, it's up and running. The website is edenproxy.org. I've kind of done a soft launch and released it just to the Eden members to have a look at yesterday, which is Saturday. Today's Sunday. So tomorrow being Monday and Tuesday, I'm going to do sort of a more official. It's sort of launch with Twitter and spamming Telegram and just make everyone aware of it and start to collect votes if possible. I have to reach out to all the VPs that do offer rewards and have them register these proxies, because until that's done, no rewards will be sent back. So there's a little delay there. So I've also I needed to get the voting done, figure out how I was going to do that. I did that yesterday. I'm using a weighted average approach for now, which may not be the best way, but it's a weighted average where, based on your participation and success in the most recent Eden election, the weight of your vote will have a greater, like you basically count for more. And then in a weighted average approach, your opinions, then your ratings as an Eden member count more. So the way it's worked, if you participate, you count as 2 just for showing up at the election. If you moved past the first round, you count as 4. If you moved into the chief delegate, you're 16. And if you're the voted representative, you count as 32 people for now. That might change. I think if Eden had 1,000 people, I would increase those multiples. But right now, with so few people, it seems unfair to say my votes were 64 people when there's only 180 or almost 200 now in Eden. So that's how that works. I'd like to prefer to use the voted. I hope in the next, I'm going to ask about this and see if there's interest in doing a vote still. So when we do this official Eden election on October 9th, Sortition will select the financial winner, so to speak. But I'd still like to be able to do symbolic, if possible, have whoever is in that thing in that final chief delegate round, hopefully they can discuss amongst themselves, pick somebody to be the symbolic winner, because to me that's more useful in the context of this rate tool. I'd like that person who's likely the most conscientious, since they were voted symbolically from the group, to then have the greatest weight in the proxy. I will request that of whomever gets there, and hopefully they do that so I can keep using this method. But yeah, it works pretty good. Thank you, Josh, so much for helping me set up the website. He got me hooked up there, and I'm really impressed with WordPress, which I hear is slow, but whatever. I loved it. It seemed pretty cool to me. And also Jen or EOS were great with helping me set up the proxies and getting them registered properly, which they are. They show up on the EOS tool and the other tools where you can view proxies, and the JPEG shows up and the mission statement and all that is all there. And they're called Eden Proxy REW, and Eden Proxy DON for donate. So there's 2 proxies. One's a reward proxy. If you put your tokens there, you get whatever your APR back that you would. And if it's the donate one, you would donate any APR to basically myself and the team that will eventually create to run this proxy. And then it's conceivable that this can actually generate a lot of revenue if millions of tokens ended up being donated. Highly unlikely, but if it happened, then there could be tens, hundreds of thousands of dollars potentially that might come the rewards. And so my intention with that is to try to spread it around as much as possible. I'm reluctant to just throw it back into the Eden Treasury. I think it dilutes the impact it can have immediately because of the 5% restriction. So I think I'd just use the trust in me to create this proxy to make decisions about supporting the bees, supporting EOS support, supporting guys like you, Felix, doing content. Like, I think that's a good use of this, and I can just be like a little mini EOS foundation with the revenue that comes from this proxy of sorts, right? I mean, it's kind of subjective. I won't have a board to oversee me per se, and I could integrate this over time. But for now, I think that's just a high level way of doing it. And I'll do a similar type of probably monthly, show all the transactions with memos and just be really transparent about the flow of funds. That's it for the proxy update.
And just a reminder, if there's any whales out there who want to allocate something like 300 million EOS to the Eden proxy, we would greatly appreciate it.
That's your round number you're shooting for all the time. Just 300 million. Come on. Don't you want what's best for the chain? Surely. Okay, you were mentioning something, Josh. You wanted to.
Oh, I just wanted to mention that we're doing like a sprint, so to speak, for inductions, because there's 200 EOS on the line for every new member that's inducted. Well, of course, we still want to adhere to quality over quantity, but we haven't really turned up the volume on inducting new members, and so now there's some. I don't know if it's a good incentive or a bad incentive. I guess we're going to find out in the long run, but it's there. The opportunity's there. So we're kind of running an induction machine during the week. We've got the office hours have been repurposed to Eden member induction machine type of situation. And we've also added an evening version of that. So if I'm not mistaken, I think it's 1300 UTC, those start, and then 2100 UTC. I think I need to check that real quick.
One of those is the office hours, the regular office hours.
Yeah, we're calling them now Eden member induction hours, at least for the time being until the election.
Okay, but it's using the same Zoom link?
Yeah, it's all the same. Both
Okay.
The morning and the evening session, it's the same Zoom link. Right now, that's happening Monday through Thursday. And on Friday mornings, we have this unpacking more equal animals thing that's been happening.
Good.
So basically, if you're watching this and you want to be inducted, if you're having trouble coordinating inductions, if you want to refer people, for us to get to know them and induct them, these are just going to happen like clockwork, and you can just get used to those times. Hopefully, at least one of those times during the week works for you guys. And then, as I mentioned, there may be some things popping up soon where people have set up like a collective events in Calendly, and you can coordinate some kind of time very easily by just choosing something off the calendar. Different Eden members are a part of that. And, whatever we can do to just speed up the process of growing the membership ahead of the election to take advantage of the carrot that's being dangled. I mean, if we could add like another, it's kind of ambitious, but if we could add like another 500 members times 200 EOS, that'd be another 100,000 EOS we could add to the treasury.
It would make a big difference. Highly ambitious, but it would certainly make a big difference.
Yeah. Yeah, I would have to calculate how many members would we have to induct a day or a week to reach 500.
Well, if each EOS member just adds one more, then you double in one day, right? You can do that.
Yeah. So if you're an Eden member and you're not inviting people, consider it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And come
My
to
wife's
the
coming
office
this week.
hours on Zoom and ask us how to do it if you need help. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Josh,
we can make Eden on EOS a family affair.
Why not? Bring your kids. You got pets? Are they conscientious pets? For the ability to coordinate on Calendly for the scheduling, I understand it's rated to EOS support, and then that whole thing might not be able to be launched right just due to making sure it's ready. Is it possible to at least have that part become working and out in the open? The Calendly piece?
I'm actively working on it right now and all this week. So there's going to be at least some very minimum viable thing for EOS support available very soon in the Calendly. The original minimum viable concept and what Randall plans to do with it has really become quite amazing. He's expanded a lot, but the original concept was pretty much just using intercom and Calendly, the features that are built into those two things. And we're still going to stick to that. And I'm getting a little bit more hands-on right now, as I mentioned, to help us like cross the finish line. Randall is a super busy guy with an actual business. I don't know how he finds time to do anything he's doing right now. Dario can only do so much and has been doing a lot of heavy lifting. Drill Sergeant Zeus, for some of you who don't know, that's Dario. So there's so now I'm stepping up and I'm going to help move this thing across the finish line and get ready to make some noise going into the next election, which hopefully is going to benefit everybody else, and like particularly the bees and stuff like that. There's a lot of cross pollination, so to speak, between the EOS support reps and the bees.
Yeah,
and a lot of synergy.
Yeah, definitely presenting. It's becoming, I think, a force to reckon with in the next Eden election in terms of a group that definitely should get some funding. Between the bees and the EOS support collectively, those two, yeah, definitely need to get a kick because they're going to bring a lot of value, I think.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything to be added, gentlemen? Nope. All right, right on. Enjoy your Sunday. I will aim to get this out no later than evening. So I was a little late to get this out last week. Apologies, but it'll be out straight away this coming week. So
thank you.
Keep the updates flowing. All right, take care, guys. Bye.
Bye.